Welcome to the Not Superheroes Gets Dads podcast. No, we can't fly. No, we can't shoot lasers or pick up giant buildings. But what we can do is help set the foundations for our families, be presents for our kids, and combat generational cycles. On this podcast, we dive into everything dad related, from the struggles we deal with as fathers to what our favorite thing to barbecue is. Hello, I am Sean Laurie. I hope you guys are doing great today. Man, if wherever you at, if you in Texas like we are, man, the sun has been definitely uh, coming out with some vengeance. So it's been hot. But make sure you guys like, make sure you guys subscribe, tell a friend, share. Of course, I appreciate the support, like always, guys. And today, guys, I have a amazing a guest today, man. With Sal. How you doing today, man? I'm thankful that you, because I know your schedule is crazy like mine, so I'm just thankful that you was able to have this little bit of downtime to be able to sit down with me, man. So how are you doing today?
For sure, I'm doing good, Sean. When you first messaged me, when you added me, I was like, oh look, what's up? It's Sean's from DBA. Our
Yeah,
sons, they hoop at the same facility and all that, same team, and I saw your podcast, and I really like it. I really like the movement because um, I just resonate with it really a lot. Realistically, being a dad and just trying to do what I can, and it seems like a lot, but it's all well worth it. Sometimes it's like it's nothing, and again, just time flies with it, man.
yeah,
But I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
that's dope.
Appreciate you having me on.
Nah, man, I appreciate it, man. That those kind words, because yeah, at the end of the day, that's one of the big factors for me. Is just I want us to give us a space, a voice, and um, Lord willing, this is just the tip of the iceberg of many things I want to do with this for us,
Hmm.
because I feel like it's very needed for us as men, as fathers, right? Because there's a bunch of stuff for the women. Shout out to the women's, of course, but
Yeah,
we
yeah,
need some
yeah,
stuff too. We need some stuff too.
yeah. For sure.
But with that being said, I like to do a little icebreaker, man. So I was gonna ask you, because your son does do two sports. I was gonna ask you, what got him into that? Was it like, did you play a bunch of sports growing up, or was it something he just loved, or did you kind of say, hey, I need to kind of keep you busy? Like, how did you guys? How basically, because I know a bunch of fathers can relate, right? Just ripping and running to having to deal with two sports at the same time. Like, how did you even get to that point, bro?
Yeah, me myself. I grew up playing sports. Never two sports at a time consistently. I've always did the normal CYO thing. So whatever season was in, then summer was a summer break. So I just bummed it at the house pretty much, taking care of my younger sibling. But getting into it with my son Mateo, we first started with CYO stuff too. We started one thing. He was super young, 3, 4 years old. Soccer, start him off,
Yeah.
and he was something that I noticed was that he was really advanced for his age, in terms of mentally and a little bit more physically, and it really wasn't challenging him. And he loved it. He loved going out and running around. He always made friends with his team. So he just liked it. And funny thing is that we went we didn't go into we went to a combat sport to start off with the second sport. We started putting him in jiu-jitsu,
Okay.
and he really enjoyed it until he was like, I really want to start basketball, because we did basketball one CYO season. He was like, I want to do it again, and there wasn't a lot of opportunity outside of it, that we knew of from CYO. And then we started researching, and we actually came across DBA, and it was, at the time, it was right down the street.
Yeah.
So it was right there. We stopped by, we met everybody, got into practice, and he just liked it. And he's always been consistently just social butterfly. Whoever's out there, he's gonna go have fun. He's gonna do his thing, but he's gonna go out there and have a good time as much as possible. So it's always been in him since he was young, and
Dope.
seeing him grow from then to now, I definitely see some changes. He's getting a lot more competitive into it, but he still enjoys it. Again, doing the two sports now, he just basketball and spring baseball right now. Baseball is his second favorite sport, so he's just
Mhm.
having the time of his life. He doesn't care that he's running 2, 3 hours a day, or have games Friday, Saturday, Sunday. He just just going out there having fun.
That's dope, man. And that's what I was gonna ask you too, because I see him at DBA, right? For y'all don't know, that's the basketball program we're part of. But how like where did that work ethic come from, bro? Because I see him, I'm like, dang, like, and maybe it's just with me. I don't know. You're like, no, at home he be chilling. I don't know, but it just seems like his work ethic is crazy. Like I be looking like, dang, like, and like you say, he definitely pays attention because like when Doc or whoever's speaking to him, if I'm talking to him, like he's just focused. Like, okay, that's what you say. All right, cool. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, majority of it, again, when he was young, he was for for the most part he's really with me, so just showing the sign of respect when someone's talking, you give them your attention, especially someone of authority,
Mm-hmm.
someone that's trying to like, give you advice. It's just giving the respect realistically, and that's something that he's very well mannered in the
Mm-hmm.
sense. And when someone is trying to teach him more things of stuff that he loves, he's going to give you his individual attention at all times. So
That's dope.
it's something that again, one of his good traits that I really like, and how he's able to make a lot of bonds with a lot of the other kids too, whether that's kids like-minded like him, or a kid's a little bit more energy in them. He's able to relate to a lot of them. So
That's dope.
it's a really good thing to see. And again, he's growing up. He has his little things here and there at the house, but eh, he's part of a kid. He's 8 years old, gonna be 9. So it's sooner rather than later we're gonna hit the teens. But I feel like we're already kind of getting there a little bit. So
Yeah, that's
yeah.
dope, man. I like it, man. So how because I wanted us to talk about just as us as fathers, right? We're busy. We're ripping and running. I can share with you lots of that got going on with me, of course. But I wanted to ask you, man, what does probably a typical day, you know, look like for you and your son, man? Because you know, especially y'all, if y'all do have baseball season going on or practice with that, then the basketball, then I'm sure with
Yeah.
work and everything else. Like, what does a typical day look like in your guys' household?
Yeah, man. Well, I'm on a health journey right now too. So
Mm, that's dope.
for me, I'm waking up 4:20 in the morning, getting ready for the gym. I get him up too, get him changed, get his school stuff ready, and then I'm heading out the door by 5 a.m.
Mm,
Thankfully, with the support of my parents, I'm able to drop him off. He's pretty much asleep the whole time. Like, yeah, he wakes up a little bit, but he's asleep. Goes drop him off with my parents. I'm at the gym from 5 to 7. And come to my parents, pick him up, take him to school. He's already all ready to go.
mm.
Um, and then from there, go straight to work, which is your normal, 9 to 5.
Yeah.
So just 9 to 5, just grind it out as much as I can. And then again, supporting my parents, they pick him up from school,
Mm,
drop him off to me. I go from there to DBA Mondays and Wednesdays, and then we're there till sometimes we stay a little bit after. So we're probably don't get home till about 8:30, and then from there we're just eating. I already made dinner for the weekend. I usually meal prep for both of us, so some good red meat, some chicken, rice, macaroni, whatever he's feeling like. We
yeah.
kind of prep that in advance. And again, home 8:30. Same thing with Tuesdays and Thursdays. Mondays and Wednesdays are DBA.
Mm,
Tuesdays and Thursdays are his other sports, whatever season's that in. So right now we're in
mm,
baseball. So pretty much same time schedule with that. And then the weekend comes, Friday DBA games right after school, pretty much heading out to Universal City, or whether at DBA, fighting traffic a little bit. And then Saturdays, baseball games. Like I just came back from a Sunday baseball game, and we were out there by the South Side, and a great game. Loved it. They won 11-2. Mateo had 2 home runs
dang,
and
that's
like
dope.
4 outs. So he's doing his thing. But as long as he's doing his thing and he's happy, I got to continue doing mine to make sure
Yeah,
that he stay at that.
that's real, man. No, I definitely agree with that. And that's where I feel like that's where your son gets it from, that discipline. Because to get up at 4:15, you said,
Yeah,
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 that's
yeah.
I'm trying to get to the point where I can get up at 5. You know what? I'll take that back. It's weird. It's like because I have to at times for my kids, I will get up. But I'm just saying like
Hmm.
willingly, like just get up, right? So, but I do want to get to that point, like to get up at 4:30, 4:15.
Hmm.
So that's crazy, bro. Just because, I'm hearing your schedule. I'm like, dang, like your schedule's pretty crazy. You know what I mean? And people would maybe think like, oh, your schedule's like should be kind of easy because you just have your son, but it's like, nah, you
Hmm.
have so many different things going on, man. And so I salute you, bro, because I'm like, sheesh, that's a lot. I mean, I have a lot too, y'all. I know y'all like, wait, don't you got 4 kids? Yes,
No, you got 4 years. Yeah, yeah,
yes, yes. My schedule's crazy too. My schedule, but my schedule's similar to yours, bro. Literally,
yeah,
get up in the morning, get the kids ready, drop them off at school, go to work. They take the bus, so that helps because I don't have no
yeah.
family out here. So
Commute. Yeah,
yeah. So then, I'll try to hurry up, get home, get them a quick shower, feed them. Then I have to get Junior, drive all the way back to DBA, and that's only if I get off on work on time. So I'm
time.
like, literally everything is like a time crunch, and I'm in traffic, right? So it's just all these different things, bro. So I definitely can relate to what you're saying. For
For
sure.
sure, bro. It's again 4 kids. I mean, I can't even imagine like just the one. And uh, I myself grew up with a sibling, so I've always had to, the games, one parent over here, one parent over there, and like just splitting time. But thankful enough, I'm able to work. I'm able to put in this work both financially and physically and mentally, so that way I can provide all that I can for Mateo. And not to say that he's spoiled,
Yeah.
because again, he's very well mannered and knows what he has, but yeah, I'm just blessed to be able to provide that for someone special like my son.
No, that's dope, man. How do you, I guess, when those times you are dragging and you're just not feeling it, you know what I mean? Just because, whatever, I mean, we're human, right? That happens where you're like, man, you know what, someone annoyed me at work, or, I couldn't get that workout like I wanted to, or whatever the case is. It just throws off things, and you got to take your son to DBA or baseball or wherever he has. It might be something for school, right?
Yeah.
How do you kind of, I guess, keep yourself present in that? Is it one of those things where you just kind of remind yourself, hey, this is what he really like is enjoys, this is what he loves to do? Like, how do you kind of help yourself to not be in that mental space, bro, where you don't want to be checked out? Because I'll be honest, there's times where I'll push myself, but there's
Hmm.
so many times, man, like where I'm like, I just can't do it. I like
Yeah.
they don't know that, but mentally, I'm like, I
You
just
feel it.
can't do
Yeah,
it.
man. I get it. I get it. I mean, we're all human, so
Yeah.
that burnout, that sometimes you're just tired, but this kind of goes back to mentality wise of me going to the gym, waking up at 4:15, 4:20 to get to the gym at 5. And I really started getting into that mindset. Um, I'm a really ambitious person, so I really started reading books, and one thing that really inspired me was David Goggins.
Mm,
Reading his books,
yeah.
his mentality. It's your journey. You literally have 90% control of what happens to you. The other 10%, things out of your hand, but
Yeah.
it's what you do with what you got. So, those days that I'm mentally like, man, I really don't want to go to practice. I hope Matteo says no, but I'm not going to encourage him unless he tells me
Yeah.
like, hey, Dad, I'm tired, I'm burnt, I had a long day at school, whatever it is. I'll listen to him, but as long as he's okay with it and he's happy and he has a smile on his face at the end of the day. I mean, my unselfishly, I will always provide for him, and that includes, even me being tired, even me,
Mm,
whatever I feel comes second to whatever he's feeling at the end of the day. And that's as fathers, as parents, both moms and dads, moms that, do stay at home and they're sick and the kids are sick. They're the ones that still have to get up and provide. They're the
yeah.
ones that go get the medicine, deal with the crying babies.
Yeah.
It's again, it's nonstop. So it's a moral duty that we have as parents, and I think everybody can really relate to that.
No, I agree, bro. So I guess then I wanted to ask you then, like, I guess what's something because you're talking about like, hey, you gotta do what you gotta do to to provide, right? That's not negotiable, right? Which understandable, absolutely, that's how it should be. So I wanted to
Yeah.
ask you though, what is like one thing you either had to like take a step back from, or sacrifice, or um, put on hold or whatever, right, in your personal life to make sure you're the dad that you want to be for your son?
Yeah, yeah. Well, this kind of goes into my a little bit of the dating life with it too.
Mm,
I with myself again being a single dad with Mateo, I'm not gonna bring ABC along the way.
yeah.
I'm not gonna bring girls in and out of the house.
Yeah.
Mateo's like, who's this? Who's that? It's just again respect.
Mm,
It's a moral respect. I don't want. I'm only gonna bring around the right person to be around Mateo. I have my guard up at all times, and it's been it's been a weird journey. Thankfully I've had a couple good friends and partners that really care, not just for me but for my son. And I hate to
yeah.
say it like that, but it's a package, bro. Like
Yeah,
it's
it is.
it's so much respect that I need to see up front before you even say what's up to him, before any of that. And if you look at my social media, you see Mateo everywhere. My Facebook, my IG. I mean, that's my pride and joy. But again, at the same time, it's putting him in front instead of in front of a lot of my stuff,
Mm,
which I'm perfectly okay with.
yeah.
Thankfully, as a young dad, I got the energy for it. I
Yeah.
can run around. I could, whatever he needs, whatever I need to do, I'm gonna find a way to get it done. And if it isn't, time management, organization, I got my calendar full. I know what my month looks like for the most part, and just being able to really run off of that has really helped me out. I really had to grow up real quick when I had my
Mm.
bill. So
No, that's dope, man. Now, because you said something that caught my or ear, eye, whatever, guys. You know what I'm trying to say.
yeah, yeah,
But caught my attention. There you go. Caught my attention as far as, you said as a single dad, and so, you know, you have full custody, right, of your son?
yeah. I have primary custody,
Primary custody.
so yeah. So it's that fine line of like 60-40.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
49-51. But me and his mom are on the cool side. She
Dope.
has two other kids since
Yeah.
younger, so I'm thankful for her because she does come help at times.
Yeah.
But really, Mateo was just stuck to me at the hip. Like
That's dope.
he's my best friend. He's right there. Whether again we're out and about, whether we're going to watch a movie, whether we're at his games, at his practices, where he's right there with me for the most part.
That's dope.
But yeah, it's just always been like that since he was an infant, since he was just a
Really?
baby. Yeah, he was just always on me. Dad was his first words. Yeah, I was, again, we're like this.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's always been a thing. But me and her, cool. If there's weekends that he wants to go over there with his
Yeah.
mom, and
Yeah.
again, she has kids, so those are his half siblings, and he's
Yeah.
like, I like that he has his own siblings without me, without me having the other two
Yeah.
kids. So
You're
I'm
like,
like,
cool. I don't got to deal with
that's
it. Yeah.
exactly. But now he has siblings. He's the oldest one, so just really, again, just teaching him be responsible, just respect and all of that. So
No, I was just saying because I think it's, one, I'm glad that you guys have a good relationship, you and his mom, but also just it's dope that, as a single father, really doing it, man. And so um, I want to just salute you on that too, you know what I mean? Just because, again, I'm glad you guys was able to work it out, but I know so many times it's the opposite, right? Where they want to see their kids and they can't see their kids or whatever the case is. So the fact that you get to be with him as much as you want and you
mhm.
guys are everywhere together pretty much is pretty dope, man. Unfortunately it's a rare thing, you know what I mean? So I
Yeah,
just want to say that's
it
that's dope.
it is. I've seen a few things. I've had a couple of associates like, how'd it happen? I'm going through the same situation, and it really is rare. But there are good ones out there, right? There's always got to be mutual agreement. We're all adults at the end of the day. I feel like a lot of it is pride between, parents splitting up and like, oh
Oh,
no, it's my kid and that type of thing. You got to do what's best for the kid. Everybody says it, but you got to really show your actions. Your actions speak, louder than words at all
mm,
times. So,
No,
That's
that's
part of
true,
it.
man. I agree with that because yeah, like you said, it's we gotta do what's best for the kid at the end of the day. You know what I mean? And so I definitely agree with that, and I think too, because I met people at times where I think you touched on this as far as with the book, right? Where it's like 10% you can't control, right? And so I tell my kids all the time, like they get mad, they not mad, but they're used to me saying it. I'm like, life is about choices. You always have a choice. Now you might not like your choices, but you always have a choice, right? So which
Mhm.
one you want to choose, and so that's what I try to encourage. Anytime I come across that's dealing with some type of situation, I tell them, hey, you be proactive, right? Like if you want to really, like, be proactive. Don't wait. Oh, I don't have the time. Oh, I can't do it right now. Or oh, right. And then when the person they was with does make the time, it
Yeah.
doesn't go the way they want to, right? Like, dang, I only see my kid X amount of time. So yeah, that's why you have to be proactive with certain things, right? So, yeah, man.
Mhm.
So I like the fact that, like I said, the way at least the way I'm not even saying y'all had to go court, do nothing crazy like that, but the way that you seem is just like, man, you're gonna be proactive with everything, right? Like you're not gonna play when it comes to Mateo. Like you're gonna do what you need to do, right?
Oh
Like
yeah.
you're not waiting, which is dope, bro.
Exactly, exactly. And it's so when Mateo with me at all times, like it's kind of, instilled in him too. He sees me going to the gym, he sees me reading David Goggins, and when he does have his iPad and has on iPad time, he's looking up David Goggin inspiration videos and like stuff like that. So he definitely sees the mentality, which again I'm thankful for. He understands what it means to put in the work and do what you can do to control things as much as possible. Because at the end of the day, we all have a choice, like you said. We all have our choices, so we got to be able to know to do the best that we can and choose the right ones. But the ones that don't end up right, just got to live with it, and you got to figure a way out to make the better choice next time or whatever comes up next. So.
True, true. Now I know you say you're very ambitious. Like like many of us, right? You have
Mhm.
goals. You know how to hustle. You know how to grind. You know how to do the things you need to do. What would you say to that single father or just father in general, where they're like, um, I want to pursue this, but I can't do that and be a good dad, or I want to pursue this, but you know, it's hard to do it because my kid. Like, are you able to balance? Obviously, you have those hurdles, but how have you been able to? Like you said, one of your goals for yourself is like, man, I'm on this fitness health journey right now. Like, how did you? What would you say? I guess to encourage someone that is trying to accomplish whatever it is. It doesn't even have to be nothing crazy. It could be working out. It could be, going back to school. It could be, just anything.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's always going to be some type of solution. Now, whether that's a short term or long term solution to get to it, it's, kind of with me with my health journey. If I didn't have my parents' support, yeah, Mateo would be with me. I wouldn't be able to take him anywhere, but that's not going to stop me into investing in my health, which buying weights at the house,
Mm,
just finding complete workout plans, meal prepping. Sundays is our meal prep weekend. We get it ready for the week. If I didn't have my meal prep weekend, I'd be coming home Monday through Friday. Mateo, let's go eat something out. Let's go get some McDonald's. Let's go get some pizza. Let's make it fast. Let's make it quick. And I mean, I could do that, right? If I really wanted to, but I have my own personal goal that I want to hit, and Mateo sees that. eh, Hey, there's the weekend. Hey, let's go get some food. Let's go get you some canes, whatever it is. But I'm gonna have enough self discipline to be able to know my goals and what to make sure my son is still getting taken care of.
mm,
It's that goes back to David Goggins and that mentality. I have that choice. I can go eat with Mateo. I can go get my box of pizza and go eat some, but I already meal prep for the week. One, I'm not going to waste my money financially just for a meal to go to trash.
yeah.
And two, I'm not going to let my gains go away because I wanted to go eat out. And don't get me wrong. I mean, there is after a few weeks, like, yeah, Mateo, let's go get a pizza.
Yeah.
We'll go out to Peter Piper's or something. But just as much as I respect him to do as much as he can, whatever he wants, happy and respectfully, he knows that he's old enough to know that I'm doing these things for him too.
Mm,
Going to the gym, eating healthy. And again, he'll join me. He'd be like, "Dad, can let me get some rice and veggies with some red meat with some chicken," and he'll join me. He'd be like, "Yeah, I'm down with it." So
that's dope.
it it goes like I said, it goes both ways. It's you just got to know where to put the boundary,
Mm,
because realistically you have to be selfish at times too. Like me going to the gym 5 a.m. I have to wake up Mattel too to drop him off with my parents. That's me being selfish.
mm,
He's gonna have to wake up a little bit, but he's straight knocks out after. So he's already wide eye, bushy tail by the time come get him and go drop him off at school. So
that's,
again, parent support, it's huge, and whether that's parents or other family members, whoever's out there, having that village really really helps out. But if it's not there, there's always a way. You just got to be willing to get it.
mm. So what? I guess too, because now I'm thinking about it. People listening or watching, they're probably like, okay, how did? Well, what inspired you? I guess to get on, one of your goals again to go gym, do whatever it is you want to accomplish. But what inspired you? Was it more? Was it for your son? Was it like, hey, I want to be in the best shape possible because I want to continue with my son? Was it, I don't know, a health scare? Was it just something as far as, you just like, hey, I want my six pack. What, like, what, what was it, bro? What was it for you that got you, in this 4:15
Yeah.
grind
The
mode?
routine. Well, honestly, it was super hard like the first 8 weeks. After that, my body was just routine. Wake
Mm,
up. It's just waking up by itself. And there's days that it's tough, but again, David Goggins mentality. You just gotta get up. You just gotta get up because getting up is half the battle. Once you're up, you're going. You're up. You're moving. Um, but the whole health journey thing, I took this right after COVID.
mm,
That's when Mateo started playing more sports, a little bit more athletically, soccer, football, and he started getting a little bit quicker. He ain't a little 3, 4 year old anymore, and he started getting a little quicker. And I'm like, okay, there was a point where I was 300 pounds, and I was like, Jesus Christ, man. I was like, this is not good. Thankfully, God bless, I haven't had any health scares.
that's good.
No diabetes, no high blood pressure, which runs in my family. Um, but it was just like I when I realized when I was on the field out with him and I was huffing and puffing and sweating while they were running around, I was like, all right, time for a change. And
Mm,
couple about year and a half later, I dropped down 70 pounds. I got down like to 230.
that's dope.
So I did it. I did it. Same. This kind of goes back to the mentality, right? It's I dropped down 230, but I plateaued. Like I was only eating like 1,000 calories a day.
Mm,
I couldn't eat anything less, so I couldn't lose any more weight. And then, unfortunately, I tore my meniscus playing basketball, hooping.
dang.
So that put me out for like 3 months. No surgery. It's still torn, but it's I went back up in weight because I couldn't do anything. Going to the gym. It just wasn't working out, and I got back up in weight a little bit, which is why I'm back on my routine again. And I just got to remember it's a mentality. You
Mm,
got to get up. You got to do it. Now he's 8 years old, and he's almost pacing me in sprints and suicides, and
yeah.
it's to a point I want to be able to be out there with him to show him, right.
Mm,
I don't want to be that one dad or that one coach. It's like sitting on the bench and screaming at everybody to keep running up and down, and I can't even. I hated that when I was little, so I
yeah,
was
me
like, I'm
too.
not gonna be that guy. I'm not gonna be that coach, that figure. I'm gonna be in the best shape as much as possible, and I owe it to the kids. I owe it to Mateo, to the kids that I'm able to coach, and all of them too.
That's dope, bro. No, I definitely understand that. There's a few things I understand. One is, you said the torn meniscus. I don't know what I tore, but I just know it's a ligament. I have like a giant scar like on my ankle.
Uh-huh.
Um, and I did not want to get surgery, but literally I couldn't walk, so I had to. And that messed me up for a while. So that sucked. So I definitely can relate to that. And then, you
Yeah.
know, what you said too about like, you don't want your son to be able to outrun you or nothing like that. Like I'm the same
Yeah.
with my son now. Like I tell him all the time, like you can't like now too. I gotta get back on there. I've been slacking. Like he's doing his pull ups like because I hate pull-ups. Those are probably the only ones I don't know why I just
Yeah.
hate pull-ups so much. But I was able to do 30 consistently, like just bam, bam, bam. I stopped because I have so much stuff going on. I've only
Yeah.
stopped for like I don't even know, like 2 weeks, right?
Mm.
And so, but he's still been doing them. So now he asked me to do them. I was like, crap. He's like, Dad, so I'm beating you now. I'm like, I can't let this
It's,
can't let this happen. Like I
yeah.
refuse, you know, I refuse
Yeah.
for you to beat because I tell him all the time like you're not beating me in anything until you're about 16, 17. Then I guess like I'll let it be. But I'm like there's no way. And so his goal is like nah, Dad. By the time I'm 12, I'm beating you at basketball. I'm gonna be faster than you. Like all these different things. So I
Hmm.
always like keep that in my head. Like I'm not gonna let him beat me. So I can relate.
Yeah, no, 100%, bro. It's again, he's already getting there, and again, just like yourself, like you're seeing it, you're like, oh dang, and your son, he's pretty long and athletic, so
Yeah.
oh yeah, he's 12. I'm sure he's gonna be able to crush it. If you
I
don't get
hope.
on top of it, he's gonna be there.
I'm like, I hope not, brother. I hope, but yeah, no,
Yeah,
there's moments where he's like, even just messing around. We'll play a little one on one. I'm like, crap, like he really did something that, like, ah,
yeah, it's again, well, you see the little flashes of it. You're like, oh damn, if he took this one thing, I would have bit, or
yeah,
I would have, it was. Again, seeing it is crazy. Again, going back to the coaching, a lot of the kids that I coached at CYO at the church, the school, was a lot of those kids have been together since they were 3, 4 years old. So seeing them grow too, it's crazy. I'm like, oh damn, like they're getting their stuff down, and it's amazing to see. It's amazing to be able to coach them and show them you know everything that I know. But it's just good to see. I think that's what I really enjoy about the coaching is just seeing them grow and seeing that aha moment. Like just
yeah,
light bulb flickers, and they're like, okay, I get it now. I understand it now. It's like, okay, now you do. I've been saying it, but now
yeah,
you're listening.
yeah.
So
Especially as a coach, man, like for some kids, you're another, either another or you are that positive role model for them. You know what I mean? So that's something I definitely take seriously because I'm like, dang, like even in those moments where I have a lot of stuff, like we've been talking about, just where it's hectic, it's busy, right? But then when I'm coaching, I'm like, all right, I need to make sure like I'm present with them. Like they had nothing to do with my car tripping right now. Like I can't take it out on them. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So.
yeah, exactly. You just gotta be able to channel certain things, and as parents too, you gotta be able to know when's the right time and when it isn't the right time. You just got to be able to identify those things before lashing out, before taking it out on someone that doesn't deserve it.
Mhm.
um and again, as parents, it takes a lot, man. You got to be able to bite your tongue a lot of times. You got to be able to hold it in, but at the same time, don't hold it in too long forever. There's
Yeah,
there's things, whether it's a partner you got to talk to, whether you got to go to the gym to release it. Everybody's got their own methods. You just got to find the most productive one to do.
true,
So,
true, man. So as we get ready to close out, man, I wanted to ask you, because you're doing all these different things, juggling them as best as you can. Like, what does success for you look like, and what would you like? Like, do you like because you have a routine, right? You have a routine. So is this something you want to continue to do, and then pass it on down to your son, or is it something like, hey, this is just for the moment? Hopefully, I get to a point where I don't necessarily need to juggle all these things.
hmm um, I think, you know, scratch that. I know that this is something that I'm going to continue doing. up until he's his own man. You
Mm,
know, whether that's 18, whether it's 22, whether it's 25. Because again, myself as a single and a very young dad, when I became one, I had to grow up quick. You
yeah.
know, a lot quicker than others. I had to go through, custody. I had to go through, finding a career when I was only 20 years old. Like I
Mm,
was, again, I had to grow up quick. And being able to instill something to one to be independent, which he really is if he really wanted to, but having his dad with him at all times, I really find joy in that because I'm able to show him the right's wrong.
mm,
I'm able to say, hey, these are things you got to do on your own. I'm not going to be with you at all times, and I will be watching you from a distance. But you got to take care of you. Got to go up, say what you want. You got to be able to speak up. You got to be able to lead. And again, these are things that are going to reflect once you get your job, once you go to college. Um, the way he's going now, God first, but it seems like he's always going to be into some type of sport,
yeah.
especially with the running into now. So I already know, Dad, drive me over here. Dad, we're playing Laredo. Dad, we're playing in Dallas or in Houston, whatever it is. Um, I'm gonna make a way to be there.
Yeah.
And for me personally, success is just seeing him succeed.
Mm,
But the background stuff is my way of succeeding too. Being able to have a career where I can, work remote, make make a good and honest living. I don't have to, you know, if I really wanted to, I can sacrifice his time and make so much more money and then
mm,
just have someone else take care of him. And I don't want that. That is
yeah.
not in my plans.
Yeah.
It's a whole so one of the sole reasons why he's usually with me all the time is because he sees that and I think he really does appreciate it and I'm able to provide those things financially, physically, mentally,
Mm,
all things above. Um, and the only way I see succeeding is again living an honest and fair life, but seeing him succeed in his sports and his academics, and just as a human,
yeah.
again, just social butterfly is one thing I love about him. And there are times, again, he's growing up. There's times where he has his little attitude, but it's just part of growing up. It's part of being human. You just
Yeah.
got to learn how to control it.
No, that's real, man. That's dope, bro. No, I definitely thank you, for your time, bro.
For sure.
Man,
Thank you.
those that's listening or watching, um, I'm sure too they're looking at like, dang, like, for being such a young dad, like you're wise, bro. Like, I can tell, like you've been through some things, you learned some things, and at least it comes off as, you know, you're not one of them people that's going to be like, I know everything, right? Like, oh,
Oh no.
let me, oh, okay, this is new information. All right, let me implement this, right? So, that's dope, bro. I just want to salute you, man. I always try to make sure I give, my guests their flowers, of course, man. And,
Appreciate you,
just,
brother.
just keep doing it, man. Keep doing, bro, what you've been doing.
Yeah, yeah. Keep trying, man. Keep trying. You too. Again, life happens, and there's good problems, there's bad problems, but you just gotta find, like you said, you gotta choose, make the best choice possible. Because there's always more than just you relying on yourself. You got your family on your back. You got your 4 kids. You got your girl. You got. It's just again being able to juggle these things. It's definitely a superpower for sure.
Yeah, yeah, man. Look, hey, not superheroes, just dads, brother. Look, you said it right there, man.
Yeah,
Said
yeah,
it
it
right
takes a
there.
lot. It takes a lot, man. I appreciate you having me on too. Again, I saw it. I was like, I love it.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate you having me on. No,
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, man. And guys, like I always say, right? Well, one again, like, subscribe, share, tell a friend. But
yeah.
like always, you don't have to be perfect, but you always have to be present. I'll see you guys on the next one.